YouTube, Supo. I want to bring you guys today a video about SNAPSHOT VR. It's a virtual reality game for virtual reality platforms. I play on Rift S, but you can play on Quest. I know there's other systems, but I play this on my Rift S on my PC, and it's just one of those games. I used to play paintball. I quit, and then all of a sudden COVID hit. The off season came. I live in Canada, so there's nowhere really to play. COVID kind of killed all the indoor, and I'm kind of far from a field. So this is kind of like something that like kind of scratches my itch in terms of paintball. It's something I can do, and I just want to kind of make a video for the people that don't play paintball. You come across enough people in this game where they're like, I've never played before, and here we are, like we're using kill counts, we're using splash counts, we're using Project 54s, we have bunker codes. There's a lot of things we play, and there's a lot of things to pick up as paintball if you've never played before. And obviously, you have people that come in, they have Oculus, and they see this paintball game, and they think, oh, okay, well, I've played paintball before. This could be cool. And sometimes I find it's like you have such these competitive people, and then they're like, what do you mean you don't know this? You don't know that? So I'm trying to educate, the people that are, this video is not for the person that, already plays, plays NXL, plays, at a rec field. Chances are you're going to know everything I say. It's for the people that don't, and hopefully, they can go out and look on YouTube, refer to this video, and hopefully it helps them out in some way. But we're just going to get into the game. We'll go through some settings and how to add bots, how to add a lobby, kind of what you got to do, to set up your account. And then maybe in another video, if, people actually watch this, I'll go through bunker codes and kill counts, Project 54, like I said. We'll go through all that, and we'll kind of break down like lanes, what lanes you should shoot, what's delaying, what does heads up mean. We'll get through all that, but let's jump into the video and let's get to it. So, this is what happens when we load into SNAPSHOT VR. At data recording, this is the version we're running. If I look over here, this is my profile. This is my name. You want to go ahead and name yourself something. You want to do everyone in the lobby a favor by giving yourself like an actual name, because if you look over here, you can see how there's a guest. Now, this is just so we can communicate. Paintball is a lot about communication. So if there's two guests, then it's like, who is it? Then maybe you forget that your name is guest, so people are trying to, hey guest, hey guest. So do everyone a favor, make your own name. Everything you need to know here is on your profile. There are some things you can select. You can see right down here. There's your guy. You can change a lot of things. I'll get into the guns. This GS Blaster is only available at level 10, but we'll get into that later. But this is where you would select it. There's a lot of cheesy stuff you can put on. You can put on an elf hat if you want. I wouldn't, but anyways, here we are. Here's the leaderboard. Maybe someday I'll make it, but I highly doubt it. Now, rooms. This is how we get into a match. These are lobbies. So you can see here, 1 of 10, 7 of 10, 7, 10. There's a lot of people playing right now. This is a lot right now. Just for this community, it's very much. I think the game's only been out a year, but the player base is kind of small, and it's a really good community. There's a lot of guys that play that you'll meet on the leaderboard. They're willing to help, especially if you've never played paintball before. People are really helpful. Sometimes yes, sometimes no, but I mean, at the end of the day, playing online video games, you're going to deal with great people and you're going to deal with not so great people. So, that being said, we're going to create our own room so that we can go in, we can kind of tinker around with how we calibrate, how we hold our gun, and we're just going to go through a whole bunch of settings. Now, the reason we're going to put a password on it is so that, when people come in, they want to join in onto a game, right? They want to have a 5v5 game, play with other people. So the fact you put a password in it, you can't come in it, and it gives you kind of that time to kind of figure things out. So I'll go up here, go ahead and create it. All right, so we've spawned into our lobby. We have a password on it, so no one else can get in right now. If I look up here, I can see this is the scoreboard. And now I'm the only one in it, so it shows DJ Mothman. It shows my score. So at the beginning of every game, everyone will spawn in here. And at the end of the game, everyone will spawn in here. Now, when you divvy up people into teams, pink and blue, this is the blue pit. Over there across is the pink pit. Now, sometimes, like clearly I'm blue, but for some reason, you can be orange and blue, and you can be green and pink. Anyways, not really a big deal. So this is everything in the lobby. I just showed you the scoreboard. You have the game board, control center, whatever you want to call it. It's how you set up the lobby, set up the layout, a couple rules and things like that. We'll get into that. Here's the game table. I'm not going to touch this in this video, but just know that this is really important. And I'll go through like how we kind of like name bunkers and, you know, the lanes we can shoot. Right? And then the calibration station. We'll get to that. It's very important how you hold your gun. Now you can see I don't have any gun in my hands right now, right? If I look down, it's down on my leg. So if you look up here, your gun is holstered on your right leg. Holster your gun to use the menu. So right now I can use the menu because I don't have the gun in my hand. If I have the gun, these green things go away and I'm unable, right, to do anything on the board. So that's just a squeeze button. I'll get into that after we get in through this. So here's my room. Race to 5. That just means 5 points. You either need to eliminate everyone on the other team or press the button on the other team's base. So I'll show you that later in the video. But there's our base right down here. And theirs is over there, and there's a button. So that would be 1 point. So the first to 5 points would win. Typically we run, I like to run timed 5 minutes. X-Ball is a format in paintball, and it kind of, there's strategy in it because it's timed and there's a set amount of points. So you can play 1 point in 5 minutes, right? And whoever wins that would win the game. So the idea is that if you're up on bodies and you're up on points, you know, you would wait for the other team to get to you, right? And you could essentially burn the clock, right? So they would have to come to you, and then vice versa. If you're down, you have to get, it kind of puts the pressure on you to go, you know, aggressively down the field and try to win points. So that's what I'm talking about when I say timed. So now this is the layout. So if I go over to the game table, this is where all the bunkers are. Right? Right now, the NXL, Sunshine State Major, it's in Florida. It just happened. Dynasty won. If you don't know anything about paintball, go check out Dynasty. Great team. And this is the layout they use. So typically, a lot of people in here, you know, do play paintball and do compete in the NXL, and some people don't play paintball or whatever, but they want to typically, you know, play the latest layout. So that's there. So if you want to pick a layout, you just have to go here. You have a whole bunch of layouts to pick. All you have to do is go over and press load. You'll see it on the field, and you'll also see it on the game board. Rate of fire, 10.5 BPS. That just means it's called ramping. So if I pull the trigger 3 times, it's going to go into a full auto capped at 10.5 BPS. So back in the day, it used to be 15, and some leagues ran semi-uncapped. You can do that, but trust me, you want to do this. The next thing is competitive. Competitive just means that in paintball, when you die, you're unable to speak on the field. You're not allowed to talk to your teammates when you've been eliminated. So if competitive's not on, let's say you're in a lobby with your friends, you're trying to learn, it's great to leave competitive off because you can talk to them. I can be like, hey, you know, Jake is running down the snake. Last player's in the snake corner. Kind of things like that. But we like competitive on because, like I said, we want to emulate paintball as best as possible. So that's why we put competitive on. I'm a big fan of spooky. You can see here. I want to do spooky because I find it easier on the eyes. Some people don't like it, but what do you do?
So we'll go through that, and then we'll add some bots. So admin, I can pause and end a game through here. Now only the admin person can do that. So let's say you want to, show someone how to use the calibration station, or you want to, talk to someone, or mix up the teams. You can either end or pause the game here. Never really happens, but it's good to know it's there. Match, same thing. You can pause it. Concede button here. This comes back to X ball when I talked about. If you were down points and the other team is they're trying to burn the clock essentially. I could be down on bodies and they could have more bodies than me. I would concede the point so that I could get on the field to get another point. Right? They could just burn out the clock and wait till the game's over. So that's the point of concede. You hear a lot of people be like, "Oh, what's this?" Don't touch it unless people are telling you to concede it. Window shield, it just blocks the field. Not a big fan of it. Teams. And when you spawn into a lobby, obviously you got to check yourself. See, look, all of a sudden I'm orange now. Still blue. It's up to you to come in and change your teams. You can change your teams as long as there's room on the other team, right? If there's 5, you can't go over. I've seen 6 in a lobby before. I don't know how it happens, but it does happen. So it's up to you. You can spectate. Spectate's what it means. You wouldn't be playing. You would just be spectating. Settings. This is very important. I run joystick, toggle, head, left, right. Tracking. I use my head. I've been told to use controller. I'm not going to change it until I see a benefit to controller. I run head. Movement. That just means your left joystick is the one that moves you around. Snap rotate. It's just I never use it. I might as well take it off. Audio, this kind of doesn't really matter. If you want to run something like Discord through your computer, yet again, I'm on PC, Rift S. I could bring this down and I could go through, an external chat, or I can just use the one on here. So we'll go back to room. We'll talk. Adding bots. So I'm gonna add 1 pink. We'll go 2-2. So if I look, I can see the bots. Whoa, what's up, guy? There's 2 guys in here. Obviously pink, green, orange, blue. You can tell by there as well. So this is how I could tell. Now, when I'm in a game, this is not going to show up. It's only going to show up after. You can see the little icons. They will show up on the scoreboard. I will get to that when we get down on the field. But we'll get rid of those for now. And it's back just to me. So let's get down. Yeah, we'll go down on the field, talk about how to run, do all that stuff. Now, game started. You can see the icon. It's just me. If I shoot these squares, I can move around. This is the starting box. I have to put my gun inside it to shoot right away. If I don't have my gun inside here, I'll have like a 2-second penalty. I'll cut to it after. So I can shoot right away. I'll show you what happens when you don't put your hand in the box. Doesn't shoot. All of a sudden I'm shooting. Green is good, red is bad. Another thing we'll talk about is when you're playing paintball, especially this game, not especially this game, but like right now, when I'm standing up, I can run. Okay, when I go down, I go a lot slower. You can go prone, fully prone. You go slower. So, that being said, when I run, I can slide. I don't suggest sliding. When you slide, your hitbox. When we talk hitbox, that means when someone shoots you, you have to hit this imaginary box around you that makes sure you're hit. And so when you slide, that hitbox stays vertical for some reason. I don't know why. But all I have to do is run, kneel, and I'll slide. Now, you're kind of uncontrolled when you slide. I find it like you'll overslide things, and I find your shot isn't as good. But if you do want to slide right into the bunker, and it kind of stops you. Okay, so now I can't show you the Guardian. Now, when you set up your Guardian system, you want to make sure it's set to the floor. I've seen people in here and they're like standing up and they're always kneeling down. That's because their Guardian is set up by their waist, and vice versa. I've seen people set their Guardian up so they can be taller. Anyways, that is one thing. If everyone's like, why are you kneeling down all the time? They're like, no, I'm standing up. Fix your Guardian. I run right now. I measured it out, and 6 feet by 6 feet was an ideal with me lying down fully. I never lie down, so it's not a big deal. I think you can run in 5 by 5, would be the minimum. Obviously, people get away with smaller, but obviously the bigger the space you have, the better. Right? You do have your Guardian, but like I said, you guys can't see it. Okay, let's get into how do I actually grab my gun. So when I start the game, what is going on? Okay. So how do I actually grab my gun? Well, if I look down, there's my gun on my right leg. You can see that there's a box, and that's where it goes. Like, yet again, I'm on a Rift S, so I'm using my middle finger for the squeeze button. Go down here, and you'll see this circle appears. I never have to look, but just know that when the circle's there, you can grab it. But yet again, I'm just going to go down here. It's in my hand. Obviously, all you have to do is press the trigger to shoot. If I look out, I can see my shots. I have 76 shots. If I want to switch hands, I don't switch hands in this game. I only do it maybe if I'm playing the snake. See how this circle shows up? Now I'm holding it by the grip, this foregrip. Now that's not going to help me at all. But if I go back to where the handle is, press my squeeze button again, yet again, opposite hand, switch my hand. I'm going to go down. I don't have any more paint. I can see it has 0. How do I reload? So I'm going to just kind of make it simple by switching back hands. If I take my off gun hand, right, and I take it by my left, grab it, and there's a pill, right? As soon as I touch the gun, back to 100. I just kind of do it by kind of muscle memory whenever I think I'm shooting a lot, and I'll touch it. Now, you can run out of paint. You only have 5 pods. I'm in the lobby, so that obviously never goes down. But you can run out of paint, so always be mindful. If I want to use the board yet again, take the gun, put it down. That's all I got to do. So, how do I grab the gun like this? Now, when you start the game, you're not going to have this gun. You're going to have just the base gun. Like I said, GS Blaster is unlocked at level 10. You got to play a little bit to get it. But if we go over to the Calibration Station, you can see here, Calibration Station. All I have to do, this is a trick that someone told me. Kind of bend down and get your face as close to the circle as possible. All you have to do is put your gun in where the outline is, and then you change. Like, I want to grip it further up. So I take my hand, put it as far as I can out. So you can see if I look over here, I'm way past in front of where the actual gun is. And I press the squeeze button. So let's say I'm just going to raise it up. You can see I've raised it up. This is typically how you start. You can see this is kind of what we call T-cupping. You're in like a weird position where you kind of have to hold the gun down and up just to get it to go. So like I said, I'm going to put it here all the way down. There. Now I want to do this because I want to emulate paintball. My hand's in a nice relaxed position, and I'm looking down the barrel. I don't have to do my other hand because once I do one, it kind of mirrors both. I'll switch to the other one just to give you a look on how that goes. So you can see my gun is a lot different, a lot clunkier. Now, if I was to hold it on the handle, right, this is what I'm talking about, teacupping. So when I shoot it, I see a lot of my gun. I guess you can even go lower. I guess a lot of people start like that. So see how the gun's like super high up? I have to hold it lower to get it in line. So yet again, close as I can, reach up as far as I can. Right? This is something that I would want to do. So this is the game table. I'm going to talk about this in another video. I just kind of wanted to condense like kind of settings all in one. And I'll show you why this is really important. We kind of went through everything we need to know to play a game. Next video we'll get into, you know, how to make a lobby with bots. I kind of showed you how to add them and how to do some practice, and then we'll jump into some games. But hopefully this helps you out.